Hi guys, it's Tiffany Fontenot, your friendly neighborhood reverse speech analyst, soon to be practitioner. I am I am so glad to have Alice Down the Rabbit Hole subscribers. How are y'all doing? Um, Everybody is welcome to share my stuff. Please share my stuff. I'm trying to get it out to the whole world because as much as I can before I leave this earth. Because we all see what happens when people lie. It when it gets to the absolute worst it can get. This is what we have right here. What we're all watching from day to day. So, we can only go up from here, I think. Although they have quite a few plans to the contrary. We'll have to see if we can make a turn in the right direction. So, let's see. And that leaves me with more time to do more reverse speech work rather than more work on reporting. So if you guys want to share my information in your videos and all of that, just make sure you tell people where to come to look it up if they want to search through it themselves. So, so let's go ahead and get started here. I'm going to start off with this one reversal that I found when I asked about going to my teacher David Oates' wedding in Australia. Of course, I live in Texas, so that's a long way on a plane, and I don't especially like to fly. So I was asking my reverse speech, how would that trip be? And it said, not yet. Well, lo and behold, later on David canceled his wedding. Unfortunately, that stuff just doesn't work out sometimes, and it didn't. But my reverse speech told me ahead of time, it's not yet, not going yet. So perhaps I'll go later. I don't know. But it says say area was swap made. Okay, so there was some sort of swap made in an area, and then it says my Sydney shows the blood trail. Well, Sydney is a successful business. It could mean literally Sydney, but so this is saying that our business, Amy Feltz, in my collaboration here on reverse speech, our business is going to show the blood trail. So it's really been interesting to see. You can tell a really good reverse speech person by going back and looking what they have found and comparing it. And it's a little bit like any other translator. When you find a good one, stick with them. When you find one that's accurate. So because a lot of people have a lot of different translation styles and all kinds of different things go into the mix. So when find a good one and stick with them. So, the swap, I'm going to make a guess because there are reversals where you know what they probably mean, what they indicate. They don't prove, and they really don't ever prove. And this is really new. David Oates found this over 30 years ago, but we're still developing it and learning this language, and it is a bona fide full language that we don't even know that we speak. It's absolutely and utterly amazing to me, this language. Metaphorical language, but it can be literal or metaphorical. So when it says Sydney, that might actually mean Sydney and or a successful business, or something else according to the context. So you have to kind of learn how to read it. Even if you can't hear these patterns, you can still study the language and the meaning of the metaphors and get a lot out of this. So we'll go ahead and start. And that swap is interesting. I think that swap, though, I'm just going to guess because I'm not sure. But I think from all the other stuff that I've experienced and looked at, that swap is a quantum swap where they're trying to hijack our reality, basically. And I'll be talking about that more post-haste. Let's go ahead and get started here. And I'm not going to play this one in the interest of time. I'm going to try to get us through this as quickly as possible, but I want to cover the material properly too. So, If it takes a while, just come back and just break it up. And it'll be worth it. Okay, and I look frozen on my screen, so I hope I'm not frozen to you guys. I have a very funny look on my face from my view of where I froze. Okay, so now what we're going to cover in this one, if you don't know that there is a satanic cult that is basically running stuff on planet Earth, then you need to understand that that is just a reality. And it looks like a big giant cult folding in on itself to me at this point. So there may be good people in this cult. There may be people that want out of the cult. There may be people that were born in and can't get out. There are going to be all kinds of situations. But it's a cult. It's a transhumanist cult. And there are different factions, I've found. And it's a lot like the movie Harry Potter. That's a simplified, of course, version of it all. But there are factions. So it's going to be like, if you go to the U.S. Treasury Department site and look, you will find one of them. They targeted the Thieves-in-Law cult. And they told you the rules of the Thieves-in-Law cult. And one of the rules is that you can only make your living off of the suffering of other people. Okay, so that is how these cults, they rule by domination. And so they make everybody miserable. Basically, when they spread it around. They're scamming cults, and they spread misery. It is just unreal. So, but it actually is a thing, a big thing, and it affects everybody. So it's time for everybody to start, quit pretending that this stuff is not happening, and just open your eyes and look and see what they are doing so that we can counter it together and get this place back to where it needs to be. So, but I've gotten some, now they do practice satanic ritual abuse. They practice, they sacrifice people, and they sacrifice people often, and they have been recruiting. So it's not been pretty. But what I have found out is I've been getting reversals that have indicated that this death cult is worried that it won't complete its sacrificial feast. Okay, so this one is going to explain more about that. So I would like to mention, please do go and like, subscribe, and share on Our Still Small Voice on YouTube. And Tip Vision is our other one. And then here is our blog, OurStillSmallVoice.com. And then you can be up to date and start getting the new information as it goes out. You'll get notified. Okay, so what do you need to know before we start? You need to know about reverse speech, basically. I am reporting direct from our shared consciousness. So, and this is what I'm like, this is what's so neat about reverse speech. You don't have to, you can just go in and listen to our better halves, and it's all shared. So, and just listen to what they're saying. I mean, that's where I want to get my news straight. It's straight from the horse's mouth. So if you can, now you can mishear reverse speech, and it can be misinterpreted, because nobody's perfect. But if you can get over those two hurdles, it's all true. It's an involuntary system, just like your heartbeat. So, just like you don't have to focus on your heartbeat, it just beats. Your reverse speech system is in there in an involuntary system also. It always tells the truth. It will tell the truth about your subconscious programming that you have in there, or it will tell the truth about our collective consciousness, or it will tell the truth. You'll get higher aspects coming in and commenting. So, okay, so let's continue on. And, it starts developing about 4 months.